Well, it's been another big week. Of course, this week the Reserve Bank cut interest rates to yet another record-breaking historic low of just 0.1%, just a whisker of 0% for the cash rate. Then they declared that these historic low interest rates are here to stay for years to come. Please stop and take the time to really consider how powerful this moment in time is for property investors. Just a day or two earlier, I was literally stopped in my tracks when I heard Channel 9 announce that an upcoming news segment that they were about to report on would feature the cheapest interest rate loan in Australia's history. Just think about that for a second. The cheapest interest rate loan in Australia's history. What a window of opportunity this is. You know, what an opportunity we have to build wealth through property over the coming years. You know, what a year 2020's been. It's just been crazy. From doom and gloom and a truckload of uncertainty, unprecedented times, to today, where news story after news story, this month alone is highlighting how resilient the Australian property market is, and further proving how resilient it is by it going back into growth. They've declared, that we've capped the total amount of fall to just 2.8%. Investor confidence is rising so fast. More than 1 in 4 Australians are now eager to buy an investment property in 2021. So please, don't find yourself on the sidelines. You need to prepare now. That's the big thing. The big question I keep hearing is, well, what does it take to get into the market? Now, everyone's a bit confused. To help answer this question, I've put together a webinar. It'll certainly help you fast track the answer to that question and much, much more about what's going on in the national market. But you really need to prepare yourself, I think, for some great news, as it's often easier to build a property portfolio than most people expect. The market conditions are perfect for investors at the moment, particularly those that are paying too much tax. Those people that work all day Monday and half a day or more on Tuesday just to pay the tax man. Those people are perfectly positioned to benefit, coming out of this COVID-19 period. They'll be the big winners. Changes to negative gearing laws a couple of years ago, along with these, what are now the hottest locations that are offering affordable property opportunities, and many of them are also featuring rental incomes that are well above, the rental incomes available in Sydney and Melbourne. Those investors will, if they're fed up with paying so much tax, they'll see how easy it is to redivert this lost income into building wealth through property quite easily. But you don't have to be a massive income earner either. $70,000 or more would probably fit the bill at the moment, or a combined household income of $120,000, $130,000. Those people should certainly be on this webinar. You'll of course need a deposit, but I'm seeing fantastic opportunities in the market that probably require somewhere around that $60,000 to secure. But even better, if the debt on your family home is below 70% of its value and it still allows you that buffer to be able to grab that sort of money, you could be grabbing a property using the equity in your home and not using any money from your pocket at all, and being cash flow positive from day one. Now that includes loan repayments, council rates, insurances, property management fees, everything. So if you've got some equity, that may be certainly my pick. The properties are often so cash flow positive when you do that exercise that I'm seeing many investors able to use that cash flow positive income, that extra income, to pay their home loans off much, much quicker as well, shaving years off your home loan, and probably saving the average person tens of thousands of dollars in interest. Equity, income, super funds. If you've got $200,000 in your super fund, you might want to look at that as an option. That's personally my favorite investment vehicle. Now, You know, if you're thinking about setting up a self-managed super fund, you will need some help, but the webinar is a great place to start just to see how, you know, astute investors are building wealth through property today. Now, there's no magic wands here. Not everyone is in a position to take advantage of this, I think, what is going to be a once-in-a-lifetime window of opportunity. But I encourage you to please don't sit on your hands, guys. Knowledge is power, but nothing changes if nothing changes either. Don't be scared if you're time poor. Get yourself on that webinar. I hope you'll choose to join me at the Big Shift 2021 webinar. There's a registration link below this video. Please be warned that we have a 200-person capacity on that webinar format. I may have to run another webinar in the future, but this is the time to test your ability. This is the time to get buyer ready. This is the time that you need to know the key elements required to capitalize on what I think is potentially the best window, the easiest window to create wealth through property we may ever see. I hope you'll join me on the webinar.
Location approved, property approved, safety guarantee. Invest approved, protecting you every step of the way.